Hi everybody, so we're going to do number 4 video. So actually let me call this number 8. There, that's better. So this is the one that gave me fits that day, and I'm sure it gave you some fits too. So you've been tasked with determining the amount of funding for 3 projects. The budget is $7,200. Project A must be 1/3 of Project C, and Project B must be twice Project C. How much do you need for each project? There's your answers. So we know that there's 3 projects, and we need to add them all up to get 7,200. But they're based off of each other. So you'll notice it says Project A is 1/3 of Project C. So it tells us that A is based off of C. Project B is twice Project C. So B is based off of C. So we'll start with whatever's not based off of anything, C. So we'll add Project A to it, but A we can represent it as 1/3 of C. And Project B is twice C. And altogether we get 7,200. So what I've done is I have the one unknown, Project C, and the other two are based off of that. So instead of saying C plus A, I say C plus 1/3 C. Now I've got the same variables, and let me move that over. So I have C's, so I'll just add the C's together. I've got 2 plus 1 is 3, so I've got 3 and 1/3. 3 and 1/3 C equals 7,200. Now, if I want to make that a little bit, I guess, nicer, I could make 3 and 1/3 into an improper fraction. So I would do 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10. So let's call it 10/3 C equals 7,200. Now, to get C by itself, I'm going to multiply both sides by 3 over 10. What happens on the left? I have 3 over 10 times 10 over 3, and they cancel each other out, or they multiply it together to make 1. So I'll get C equals, let's make that equals, so I have 7,200. Bear with me, I'm going to make this into a fraction. And I said 3 over 10. Now what I'm going to do is I drop this guy down here. 7,200 over 1. Whoops. And 3 over 10. So this is what I'll be doing on the right side. The left side's already made out to be 1. So I can go ahead and multiply across, but I can also simplify a little bit. When I look at those, I can make them, or 7,200 can be divided by 10. So what's really left, and let me undo that, I'm left with, I'm going to get some lines, but I have 720 times 3. So I'll just multiply those, and I have 720 times 3 gives me 2160. So 2160 is Project C. Now I go back to find the others. Project B is twice that. So for Project B, I just do 2160 times 2, and I still got it in my calculator. Gives me 4320. I forgot my equal sign. Equals. There we go. Now to find project A, I need to do 1/3 of 2160. So that basically means 2160 divided by 3 give me a measly 720. So that's how you find that one. It was stumping me 2 weeks ago. I could not get it for the life of me. So let me pull this guy up, and we get to our friends, he says sarcastically, interest. So simple interest should work pretty good for you. Simple interest is just the same amount added each year, and it's not compounded. So the formula for simple interest is, or define simple interest, I guess, is SI equals principal times, let's do lowercase r for rate. Let's just keep it that. So $4,000 is deposited in a bank account at 5% simple interest per year. What's the amount of money in the account after 20 years? So first we have to find out how much interest you earn in 1 year. That's 4,000 times the interest rate of 0.05. Make sure you put that in decimal point. Yes, you could multiply that quite easily, but we'll get our friend the calculator. Gives us 200 bucks. So you might even want to say, like, write that down per year. So it asks us after 20 years. So we have to do 200 times 20. And that gives us another 4,000. Again, I remember I said that's kind of not too bad for sitting on your money. But the question asks us how much is in the account. So you have to have 4,000 plus 4,000, giving you 8,000. I would not be surprised if a multiple choice wrong answer was 4,000. They do that on FSA problems, so I wouldn't be surprised. So make sure you get that correctly there. Okay, now, hooray, compound interest. I really, really hope they'll give you this formula, but you really have to take your time writing this out and write it neatly. Make sure you know what these things stand for. P equals principal, the amount put in at the beginning. R equals rate. It wanted to put it capital. Sorry about that. N equals payments in 1 year. I'm going to pull this down right here. And T equals time. More than likely it'll give you years. Okay. So we'll read it first. The compound interest formula is that big thing. If you deposit $1,500 into an account where interest is compounded monthly with an interest rate of 16%, how much money will you have after 8 years? Round to the nearest cent. Now we've done this several times and we never come out exactly, and that has to do with the rounding. So let's just see what we get. So we have A equals P parentheses 1 plus, and I'm going to, well, yeah, I'll be able to do it. R, the rate is 16% or 0.16. Close parentheses. I'm going to put the N on the bottom in a moment, and I'm going to use this. So I'll have N times T. I'll do t first. T is 8 years, lowercase x. So the n is, it says compounded monthly. So that's once a month, so that's 12. Now I'm going to go underneath this and put my 12. That way it looks something like a fraction. Okay, so we really need to take our time with this. We have a equals, and I don't know why I put p up here like this when I should have put 1500. That's better. So 1500 doesn't get used yet. So I say 1 plus 0.16, 1.16. And then we'll make it to the, I'm going to go ahead and say 8 times 12. And you remember I had trouble with my 12s, so we'll call it the 96 power. And I got a little double blue line, so I'm going to use that as my line. Over 12. Okay. Now we'll do one more step at a time. A equals 1500, parentheses, 1.16 divided by 12. 0.16 divided by 12. And I got 0.9666 forever. So this is where we're going to get our somewhat of an error. Pull this to the 12th power. Okay, now we do 1500. Now we've got that thing in our calculator. You've got to do that 0.966 forever to the, and for some reason I put 12 here, sorry, that's the 96 power, to the 96 power. What? Okay, try it again. 0.9666666 to the 96 power. And I get 0.3859. A lot of stuff. And I think I created an error here. Now we multiply that times 1500, and I get $57. So I did something wrong here. So what I'm going to do is stop the video, and you ignore this one, and I'll try to fix it and create a 5th video. Thanks.